What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be doing a full cost breakdown on my 96 GT. So this video is going to be strictly just mods. I just want to list kind of performance and the visuals that I have done to it, and then the new cost of each item, and then also where I got that item from or where that item came from originally. So this is just to help you guys out and kind of give you a true idea on what's actually done to the car and what all has gone into the car at some point. So right off the bat, we're going to be starting with the performance aspect of this video, and number one is going to be the SCT X3 with the custom Bama tunes. So this car has the unlimited Bama tunes. This specific car is tuned for a 93 octane. And then the Bama tunes plus the actual SCT X3 tuner is going to run you up about $350, that being $150 for the tunes. And then for an X3, you can get that for about $200 on eBay. Now, underneath the engine bay here, we don't have anything too fancy going on. Like I said, this car is kind of more of just a bolt-on car, the basic bolt-ons. On the left here, we are actually going to have the black SR Performance cold air intake. That's going to run you up about $85, and that is going to be from American Muscle. Also from American Muscle, I do have the Ford Racing plug wires, Ford Racing blue plug wires, and then right kind of behind that is going to be the Ford Racing Performance intake manifold. The plug wires are going to run you up about $80, and then the intake manifold about $250, again, both from American Muscle. Now, kind of staying on the American Muscle trip we got going on here, we also have the SR Performance clutch cable with the SR Performance clutch cable adjuster. These two items together are going to cost you about $65, and then those are going to end up leading to the next item on my list, which is actually the King Cobra Stage 2 clutch with the upgraded clutch fork. So those items down there are going to cost you about $260, give and take, about $200 for the clutch kit, and then $60 for the clutch fork, and that is going to be from UPR. Some other big bolt-on items in this engine bay is going to be the Powerhouse throttle body with the Powerhouse intake plenum. For this 78mm throttle body and plenum, it's going to cost you about $275, and you can find these two items on Summit Racing. Our last item in the engine bay here is just going to be SR's Performance underdrive pulleys. You can get these again from American Muscle for about $85. Now, moving on to the side of the vehicle without starting any exterior or interior yet, we are going to have our lowering springs. This is the Eibach Pro Kit, again from American Muscle for about $295. Just give the car a much more aggressive stance, and then they're not too expensive, so it's not going to break the bank. So now on the back of this vehicle, we are going to talk about the exhaust that's on this car. It is going to be the MagnaFlow Street Series catback from American Muscle for about $700. And then right above that is the BBK off-road H-pipe, no cats. That's going to be about $230. And that mid off-road H-pipe I was able to find on SD Parts. I couldn't find it anywhere else because there's not a lot of mid. Normally the off-road H-pipes are built for just shorties and long tubes now, but SD Parts does have a mid, I'm pretty sure, which again is on this car and just connects to the MagnaFlow catback. Now, transferring again to the side of the vehicle, I do have the Power Stop Extreme just rotors and pads set from American Muscle, about $280, a little bit better stopping power than stock, and the drilled and slotted just look a lot better in my opinion. Now, the last performance mod that I'm going to talk about is my wheel and tire setup. These are a staggered FR500 wheel with black with the chrome dish. They're going to be a 17 by 9.5 and then a 17 by 10.5. with a 255 4017 up front and a 315 3517 in the rear. I have different tires, but if you want this kit staggered with Mickey Thompson's, it's going to cost you about $1,250 from American Muscle. So now that we are done with the performance aspects of the vehicle, and if you're wondering the power aspects of this car, honestly, I'd have to say anywhere from 200 to 220 wheel. I don't have any dyno sheets from either me or the previous owner, but it sounds good, it looks good, and it's definitely fun power. So now that we're done with performance, we can start with the exterior visuals that I have done in this car, and then number one is going to be the smoked OEM style headlights. These specific headlights I got off of an eBay seller. They are just a chrome housing with a smoke lens, going to cost you about $75 for the pair. Super inexpensive and make the car look much different. Now, coming to the side here, you can see that we have the black modern pony emblem from LMR, $50. Brings something to the front end. Not having anything there wasn't the best, and I just think it's some more lines to make the car look that much more aggressive. Also, you're going to see there is a slight Cobra body kit done to this car. So this is just the plastic Cobra front bumper, about $180 from CJ Pony Parts. Super inexpensive, and personally, I like them much more than the stock SN front bumpers that come from the factory. In there, you're going to see that we have Ford's OEM style Cobra fog lights, $100 again from eBay. Right above that, we have Cervini's Cobra R style hood with hood pins, unpainted from American Muscle. It's going to be about $650 give and take. I'm not including paint just because, you know, that varies heavily with who you go to, if you paint it yourself, color, so on and so forth. But yeah, with those couple things, the headlights, the hood, front bumper, the emblem, fog lights, all that I think just brings a whole different image to the front of the car, and it makes those stock S95 GTs look 15 times better. Personally, with all this stuff on the car, I think it looks much more aggressive, much more clean, and also honestly more respectable at the same time. Now, coming onto the side, as you saw in my last video, I do have SVO rockers for the car. Got this from eBay for about $300, unpainted. We also have the shorty antenna, that you can see it over there. That was about $15 from American Muscle. I also did purchase pre-cut tint from eBay, 5%. That rung me up about $27, $30. That's gonna look awesome on the car. On the topic of tint, I also did tint the reflectors and the taillights with Vivid's taillight tint. That was about $20 for 2 rolls from Amazon. 20 bucks, can't beat it. Looks much better than I think that cherry red that comes on them from the factory. As you can also see, we have the shaven bumper. This again from CJ's, you can get for about $220, plastic. Also, this is just a Mustang GT spoiler. I do have the Cobra R inspired style spoiler. That is going to be from Car ID. Brings extra lines to the rear end, and I think it just looks much more aggressive. Now, coming onto the interior, not too much done to it yet. We have billet shift knob, American Muscle, about $20. We also have a Kenwood stereo system. I found these on eBay for about 85 bucks. You know, you can obviously plug your phone in and stuff now, charge it, much better than the 96 technology that came from this. Also, right above that, we're going to have, I'm pretty sure this is the Celine style gauge cluster. I really couldn't find this thing anywhere online. Previous owner did this. I saw that there were a couple just face sheets for 40 bucks on American Muscle. But if you want this whole cluster, I'm honestly not too sure. So we can just say 40 bucks for now. I think it looks decent. I don't think it's that much of an upgrade from stock, but still one of those nice little touches that makes the car seem more modified. So that is going to wrap it up for what's actually done to the car. I wanted to just kind of bring you down the soon-to-be wants and what's going to be going onto this vehicle, and so what it's going to be like in a couple months from now. As you know, I got the side exit exhaust from eBay, the rockers, and now at this point I'm going to need to do some kind of side exit exhaust, you know, like actual exhaust. And I'm thinking a barrel style, shotgun style muffler, M80 Flowmaster with dual tips coming out the SVOs. And, you know, that's going to range maybe $140 for tips and probably about $160 to $180 for mufflers. So besides the catback that I have coming for the vehicle, I also want to talk about the idea of me potentially swapping a H-pipe for an X-pipe, probably BBK again, and then probably BBK long tubes at some point. So that's going to be probably around $700. And this, again, is all if you buy new. This isn't any used cost, because used cost, you know, with Marketplace and eBay out there, it totally depends on what you're going to get. I'd also like to do the Speedform rear seat delete kit. That's going to be about $150. For the mirrors, that's a super rare option, so I'm going to have to just kind of stay on the lookout for that. Along with the rear seat delete kit from Speedform for $150, I would like to swap these seats out with black leather sometime soon. Those, obviously, you can't buy new, so I'd like to find a used pair in decent condition for about 200 bucks. And then the last thing on my list for things that I just want right off the bat is going to be a Raceland coilover kit with caster camber plates. I had the same coilovers on my old 2-valve for $600. I can't complain. It was a stiff ride for sure, but with the looks and the handling, I think it's worth the money. So when it comes to wanted performance, I don't really want to talk about that because that's so undetermined. I don't know what I want to go with yet, what I want to do tuning wise, motor wise, etc, etc. Now, so for the grand total, if you add up everything for the new cost that I had mentioned, it's going to be about $4,350 for all the performance aspects. Again, that's going to be all new stuff, so don't worry about the cost because you can find most of that stuff used at this point. For exterior visuals, I have it listed, added up at about $1,650. Again, that's with everything unpainted, and that's again buying everything new from the sellers that I mentioned. There's so many options out there, and you can build these cars for super cheap. I'm just kind of giving you guys an idea if you did want to buy everything new, and then because most of these things were bought new for this car, kind of how much money is into it at the same time. And then for interior, it's only about $145 for the shift knob, cluster, and then the stereo. Before I let you guys go, the sponsor of this video is going to be Super Clean. Super Clean is a high strength degreaser, good for getting off any kind of dirt, grease, grime of any kind from any product. Super Clean is biodegradable with multiple kind of strengths of concentration, so whatever you're doing, Super Clean can get it off and will get it off. Head over to superclean.com to check out all their products, and I highly recommend using these as I've used degreasers for years, and this is definitely the best degreaser that I've used. It really gets the job done, as it also does set the way for multiple finishers that you could use. So that was kind of it. This was just kind of like a full cost breakdown of what I had in the car. That again is all new costs, so don't worry, don't get freaked out if you see that the costs are high. I'm just trying to give you guys an idea of what's on my car, how much money is potentially into it, as I also was kind of curious on what things did cost for this car and how much everything was. This was kind of a good learning experience for me. Hopefully it can teach you guys something too on just the prices and where you can get products from. With all that being said, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.